How are you? Awesome. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Dr. Jonathan Zenz. We are a spiritual community here at Unity of Tucson where we are here to celebrate love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, all the things that you are. So how does that sound today? And the rest of you? If you feel like you want to move your body and if you are able, the song's going to tell you to do that. So here's our opening song. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everyone you meet. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. If you're able, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. It's another awesome day. It was one of those days. So normally I set my alarm on Sunday mornings for 4:15. And this morning, like at 3:45, I went, it's like, oh, I guess I'm awake now. So you're in for something today, I think. Good morning once again, beautiful humans. Such a delight to share this day with you. Welcome to another Sunday morning at Unity of Tucson. Like I said before, we are a spiritual community here at Unity of Tucson. And our purpose, I think, is to teach practical tools to encourage everyone to experience a better life. I personally believe that by putting to practice this spiritual philosophy, my life has gotten better. So that's what I'm here to offer every single Sunday, is to encourage every single one of us to find what works for us. Now, here's why I say find what works for us, because you may not believe everything you hear today, but I do think that you will hear something that does resonate with the belief. And part of the value of this path of New Thought, which of course Unity is a part of the New Thought movement, part of the value is that we are here to take a look at our beliefs and see what is working for us and what isn't working for us. Because as the Master Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. What that means is your life, your experience, your circumstances are showing up in exact accordance with what you believe and how you feel about those beliefs and the thoughts that spring forth from those beliefs. So today, check in, see what resonates with you, see what might butt up against your belief system, and make some determinations about how you might want to move forward. Does that sound like a good plan? I always go to Laura because Laura's like my Ed McMahon. That's I think that we're past that reference now, though, in a lot of ways, aren't we? Plan A.
We always can go to B.
Yes. So we carry, So we do carry a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for us as a community to state out loud the words of this, our vision statement. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. The mission are the steps we take to get there. So let's state these words of our mission. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Now I have to laugh a little bit because when I was getting ready this morning, I thought, I think I will wear a sweater. And there was a part of me that thought, well, maybe I'll just wear one of our t-shirts. And of course I showed up today and there were at least 2 other people that were wearing the t-shirt that I have on underneath. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. These t-shirts are available in the bookstore. If you're joining us for the first time today, let me first acknowledge anyone who may be joining us online, watching our live stream or watching on the video archive. Deeply grateful that you've decided to share your Sunday, or whenever you're watching, share this time with us. If you would go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out some information there if you're new, we'd love to continue this connection. And if you are joining us today here in the room for the first time today, if you are able and you are willing, if it's not uncomfortable for you and you'd like to identify yourself, if you're new, would you please stand up so that we can share a gift with you and share some love with you? Is there anyone joining us for the first time today? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome. And remain standing for just a moment. Remain standing for just a moment because, yes, we do have these physical gifts that we have to offer. But we also know something about you that we want to share with you because we just know. We've been told. We've intuited this magnificent idea about you. Shall we share it with them? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your magnificence, and welcome. Thanks for being here. Now, we know that about you because every person that we encounter, every expression of life that we encounter, every expression of creation that we encounter is a reflection of that which is inherent within each and every one of us. So as we exclaim that we see your magnificence, What I would say is that you are a reflection of our inherent magnificence, and I would love for us as a community to say these words. I am magnificent. How does that feel? Well, with that thunderous response, let's say it one more time. I am magnificent. Indeed, magnificence all around. Whew. You ready? Okay, I'm going to invite Kathy Brandon up to light the flames of faith. She is one of our keepers of the flames, and she is here to light these candles, each of one representing one of the faith traditions, religious paths, spiritual ideas that are part of our world. And what we are honoring is that each and every one of them, what we teach is that they're rooted in one thing, that thing being love. So if you would, please, Kathy.
We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism. Buddha taught that we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We honor a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. We light this final candle to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
Thank you. The candle here on your left, my right, is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this idea that it is a representation and a reflection of a consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow our inner peace to inform our thoughts, our deeds, our actions, our intentions, that right where we are creating a more peaceful world. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Here to guide us today with reading and leading us in our monthly affirmation and providing prayer for us is the leader of our prayer chaplain team. Please welcome Laura Cass.
Good morning. Well, I think I have Jonathan beat this morning. He said that he got up at 3:45. It wasn't that I got up that early, but I've had 3 cups of coffee. And also, Don Zenz One of our technicians and Jonathan's father told me not too long ago that if I didn't speak louder, he said, I'm going to have to wire you. So I am wired with 3 cups of coffee, and I'm really wired. Just letting you know. So our word, our thought, our theme this month of January has been expansion. And expansion means what? It means change, doesn't it? We're going to change something. So with that thought in mind, I started looking for something, a reading that would represent change for me and hopefully for you. And I found something here by Louise Hay, and I'm going to read it to you. I am willing to change. My spiritual growth often comes to me in strange ways. It can be a chance meeting or an accident, a dis-ease, or the loss of a loved one. Something inside urges me to follow, or I am forcefully prevented from living in the same old way. It is a little different for each person. I grow spiritually when I accept responsibility for my life. This gives me the inner power to make the changes in myself that I need to make. Spiritual growth is not about changing others. Spiritual growth happens to the person who is ready to step out of the victim role and into forgiveness and into a new life. None of this happens overnight. It is an unfolding process. Loving myself opens the door, and being willing to change really helps. So let's take this month's affirmation. I will read it once, and let's then say it together twice with feeling, intent, meaning. My personal nature is infinitely boundless and ever expanding. Together. My personal nature is infinitely boundless and ever expanding. Once more. My personal nature is infinitely boundless and ever expanding.
Allowing that affirmation to resonate in whatever way it will. Just settle in for this moment. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
So we take that beautiful, beautiful thought. We know that wherever we are, God is. And I am that God, we say. With every breath that comes in and fills our heart space, we feel that love, that warmth. It's a divine flow going through every pore, every organ, every part of our entire body. We know that we are love. We are light. We feel the peace wash over us. And we know with a great certainty that we are indeed the I am that is God, and that God and I am are one. And that is an eternal love, an infinite love, a never-ending stream of divine consciousness. And so it is.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
Thank you, Laura. There's a trend that happens sometimes on TikTok. Does anyone engage with TikTok besides me in this room? I love TikTok. I love watching those videos. But in the algorithm that I'm in, there are musicians that will pop up in my feed and they'll say, if you can guess this song with just the opening chord. And I always listen, it's like, if you get it in the first 2 chords, and then in the first 3 chords, and oftentimes I will get it in the first chord. The only reason I thought about this is because we were trying to figure out how to start this song this morning, and this song starts with 1 chord. I wonder if you'll know what song it is.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind a-blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end the madness, maybe not. Oh, but we can only try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel.
this morning, or actually it was yesterday that I chose this song, and I emailed Linda, I said, I haven't sung this in 2 years. And then we realized, well, that Catherine had sung it not long after I sang it, but it's been a while since we've presented this song. I love this song. I love that album. It's like one of the greatest albums ever, right? Carole King's Tapestry. Love, love, love. Thinking about expansion, that's the theme, right? You mentioned that the theme of this month is expansion. If we are truly ready to dig into that inner love and allow that to expand in our experience, what a change this world will experience because of us. Because of us, right where we are, we have the capacity to change the entire world. So I'm going to ask you this question to start today, rhetorical. How do you get up each day? Slowly. It's not like me at 3:45 going, I'm awake now. Not for everyone. Anyone ever wake up on the wrong side of the bed? What do you do? What do you do if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Because here's the thing about waking up on the wrong side of the bed. What I feel, what I believe, what I teach, is that waking up on the wrong side of the bed is allowing the circumstances of the world, the effectual world, the experiences of the world, to determine my well-being. If I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I'm saying all of that stuff out there has effect on me. That is exactly the opposite of what we teach. What we teach in New Thought, what we teach in the Unity movement is that we are the point from which all expression and experience flows forth. So if I ever wake up on the wrong side of the bed, what I have learned to do is to stop myself in that moment and go, wait a second, I know who I am. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face. I take that to heart. I make a different choice. You know, fundamentally, New Thought is about the choices we make. It all boils down to the decisions we make, the choices we make, and how those choices will now play out in the experience of our lives. Those choices are rooted in belief, because the beliefs are going to set the limit of the choice. And if we believe we are less than, what kind of choices do you think you're going to be making? You're going to be making choices that support the idea of being less than. This philosophy, gosh darn it, takes work, because we have to consistently wake up every morning and convince ourselves over and over again, that's right, I know who I am. But you know what happens is that as you do that, as you practice, as you engage in the spiritual practice, it gets easier and easier and easier until you're waking up at 3:45 a.m. on a Sunday morning going, yes. So today's focus is really allowing ourselves to come into that expression, knowing that it comes from within. Why does it come from within? Because of one thing only. The first two principles we teach in this philosophy are, God is, I am. There is no mistake that was the chant today. God is, I am, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am. And as Meister Eckhart said, between God and me, there is no between. God is, I am. That's all that's going on. God expressing infinitely by means of all creation, and that is who and what we are. We teach that the universal spirit called God creates by the means of a law of mind action. So everything that's flowing forth in our experience is the activity of our own mind. The activity of the mind equals the creation of circumstances. Period, end of sentence. That's the whole philosophy. That's it, right?
Are you going home now?
I'm gonna go home now. No, I'm not going home now. I still have 15 minutes on my clock. We'll see if I actually can state what I want to state in 15 minutes or if it's going to take me another 20. So, each week, I keep talking about it. I keep talking about it. I keep talking about it. Where does any of it come from? What is it? And how do we know life is going our way? It being inherent truth. Oh, that's how I choose to recognize it. God is inherent truth. What do you believe? Because again, I said, you may not believe everything you hear today. What I believe is that God is inherent truth, and I have allowed myself to adopt that as a point of view from which all life is creating itself in front of me and as me and through me. My life, how about you? Ultimately, all I'm ever talking about every single week, all I'm really ever talking about is our relationship as the creative power. Not to the creative power, not with the creative power, not in the creative power, but as the creative power. Because to say that I am one with God puts God out there. To say that I'm one in God has something separate that is me and God. To say that God is something to which I must bow down and worship puts God out there. That's not what we teach. In the Wednesday night class, which is, it's one of those, for me as a teacher of the Wednesday night class, it's one of those classes that is really like I come out of there vibrating every single end of class. Like the discussions are so beautifully resonant and deep. And one of the things is we are reading the book Prosperity by Charles Fillmore. And if I'm going to be totally honest, I am challenged by this book. Not because of the concepts that he teaches, but because of the language that we have adopted in reading this book that was fully acceptable at the time, but has become less acceptable now. Because here's what happens. That book is rooted in language that is dualistic in its presentation. It is putting God out there and missing that God is right here. Each and every one of us, God is, I am. So I have a little bit of a challenge with that book. And yet I have learned over my many years of being in this movement and being a minister to be able to read the language and not let that bother me so much anymore. Because what I see and understand is the inherent truth, the infinite truth that is behind the language, because language is a very clumsy tool to try to express anything that we're ever trying to express. It's very clumsy. So the book speaks in the language of dualism, but it's hinting at unity. Irony, right? We teach that the presence is indwelling. And you cannot be closer to something than to have it be indwelling. You cannot be, no aspect of you can be any more spiritual than it is right now, because 100% of you is spirit. 100% of you is God. It lives as each and every one of us. We are the expression of God's life. We are the expression of God's love. God, the infinite, is expressing itself through the individualized expression of uniqueness that is each and every one of us. Boy, I'll tell you, when I really understood that, it's hard to go back to understanding anything else. It is totally inseparable. You cannot separate God from you. It is who we are. It is not something we possess. I want you to hear that. God is what we are, not something we possess. And this is true of all creation. Every single person we encounter, whether we like them or not. I thought that would get a laugh. Every person we encounter is God, even the ones we don't like. And you know what? I'm not here to tell you that you have to like everyone, but you do have to love everyone. I'll let you figure that out. That'll be another talk. I've talked about it before. So, what I'm going to encourage all of us to do is when we leave here today, as I often do, say, what happens when you walk through those doors and go back out into the real world? What I'm going to encourage each and every one of us to do is to not just talk about our belief, but to engage in the true experience of it. To lead with love, to lead with this understanding that this is who and what we are. Now, Charles Fillmore, being the evolutionary thinker that he was and is, in an unpublished talk, they're at the archives, you can go and see like his talk notes, and you have access to them at the archives. So this is from an unpublished talk transcript that he gave. I have this great quote that shows he had evolved. What he wrote was this, or what he said was this. He said essentially that we have spoken of God in the third person. We have spoken of God in the third person, and then in the second person, right? He's talking about the way that we are deepening our understanding and having a progression and an evolution and an expansion in our understanding. So we have spoken of God in the third person, and then in the second person. In our present development, when he gave this talk, in our present development, we speak to God in the second person. But, I love the word but in this instance. I don't usually like the word but. I like it in this instance. But the time is coming when we shall speak of God in the first person, for we shall displace all separation. Yeah. That's why I get up here and say what I say every week. Yet we still have discomfort in accepting this evolution of thought. I'm not going to make you raise your hands, but if you have discomfort at exclaiming the truth of yourself by saying, I am God, just check in with that. Just check in with that. Why is that uncomfortable? Is it because you have been taught a paradigm where God is some greater thing, and so by stating, I am God, you think that perhaps it is me saying to you, you should put yourself on a pedestal? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying, because when I state, I am God, I know you are God, and that becomes the great equalizer. I know who I am, I know who you are, and there can be no difference, so it eliminates discord when we know who we are. And I am a bit of an absolutist about this. Just ask anybody just ask the prayer chaplains. I am an absolutist about this. And yet I'm also willing to have my mind changed. But I haven't found anybody who's changed my mind yet. But I'm willing, because I'm always on that search. That's the great thing about New Thought philosophy, is that it is asking you to question it all the time. So, while I am a bit of an absolutist about this, what I've discovered as an absolutist in stating that we are God is this. There is no way in that understanding to be a victim of circumstances. There is no way to shirk personal responsibility. And there is no way to deny your magnificence. When you know who you are, you got to let that other stuff go. You can no longer be a victim. It is a call to take personal responsibility and to affirm at all times the truth of your magnificence. It took me a while, I will admit. It took me a while, and I was really afraid of this idea. But as I continued to evolve and grow and change my life, it took me a while to accept my own inherent sense of magnificence. And now there is no looking back. There's no looking back. I think about past times, and in 1997, I graduated from university here at University of Arizona from the theater department. And as all good theater students do when they graduate, they immediately move to usually one of two places, either Los Angeles or New York, because they're going to go and they're going to make their mark, right? So where do I go? I went to New York. Had I known then what I know now, it would have been a very different story. So I went to New York thinking I was going to go there and, they're going to be so delighted to see me, right? It was all about success and acting, and I'm going to go and I'm going to take over Broadway. What I realized in the years that I lived in New York is that it was an opportunity that I was really willing to take upon myself to begin to discover myself in a way that I hadn't. And so New York was a challenge. I don't know if anyone's ever lived in New York City. It's a challenge. It's a challenging place to live. And I do sometimes think, wow, if only I had ever made my way in the late 90s over to Avery Fisher Hall, where Eric Butterworth was still lecturing every single Sunday. How different my life might have been. And as I think about the progression of my life, there were clues that were being thrown at me along the way, that were all pointing me in the direction of accepting my own inherent sense of magnificence that I had squashed. After 9/11, I was living in New York. I was not living in New York during 9/11. I had moved away and was living in Los Angeles when 9/11 happened. And while I was trying to break into the film and television industry, again, I thought they were going to just, hello, welcome. While I was trying to break in, I did a lot of temp work. And so I was an office temp. And after 9/11, all of that work dried up. There was no work. And so I went into a little bit of fear around how am I going to pay my bills? So I got a job as a telemarketer. And I apologize to any of you if you ever had to talk to me on the phone. And this telemarketing firm was in this industrial complex in Culver City. And I was out having lunch one day and talking, and there were some people who were workmates of mine, and they came out and they were talking to me, and they said, have you ever heard of Agape? It's a church inside this industrial complex down here. I said, the way that you talk, Jonathan, we think that you might really like that. I'm like, I don't do church. Nope, I do not do church. And then I was cast in a stage production of a show called Blood Brothers, which is a big musical in London, and nobody in the US ever has heard of it, pretty much. But I was cast in a production in Los Angeles of a musical called Blood Brothers, and there were members of that cast who went to the Los Angeles Church of Religious Science and kept trying to get me to come to the LACRS on a Sunday, and I would say, nope, I don't do church. Not for me. And then the number 3 was the one. I was cast in a production of Angels in America, which is a show that went into the NoHo Arts Center for New Thought, which was a theater in North Hollywood. And the production manager, that's the house manager was telling me, oh, we have our church here on Sundays. I'm like, I don't do church. But there's this really nice guy that I think you'd really hit it off with. If you want to come and meet him, I'm like, what? I'm gay and one other gay person. So you think that's, I was like, I don't do church. Took me a while, but I finally went on a Sunday, and here's what happened. I went on a Sunday, I met a guy, he was really nice, not for me, but I found myself. I met myself, and I began to fall in love with myself because of a philosophy that I was hearing for the first time and went, oh, I get this. This resonates with my soul. This is what I have inherently believed my entire life. And there's communities that all believe this? What? It was then I began to really embody my sense of magnificence. And this is what I encourage each and every one of us to do every single week. It is no mistake that I invite us all to say, with feeling, I am magnificent. Every single week. It's why when we introduce ourselves and meet new people, we say, you are magnificent. It is the truth of your being. You can be nothing else other than magnificent because God itself is magnificence. And so we are the outflow of that magnificence. There's always a free flow of unhindered source working for us if we are allowing ourselves to live it. It works for us by working through us and as us. It's simple. The whole thing, this whole philosophy is very simple. But if you live in doubt, it's not easy to live this philosophy. I've experienced it in my own life, times in my life where doubt translated itself into negative potential, and negative potential always leads to the possibility of failure in the expression of an experience of my life. Now, God doesn't understand that as failure because God always flows forth in exact accordance with our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Always. So it's never failing. God never fails. It's simply showing up in your life in accordance with those thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. So if your belief is in doubt and in negative potential, failure is a possibility. Fear is a possibility. As you decide here, perhaps if you choose to adopt the construct of moving beyond just I am magnificent into I am God, and understand that as the truth of every single person you encounter, I guarantee you, your life will be transformed. We teach that the universal spirit called God, creates by means of a law of mind action. The best way I have found to equip myself for successful living as God is to be present as the presence. To be present as the presence. One of the tools that we teach in this philosophy for this is meditation. Meditation practice can help us move through past resistance patterns. You cannot experience the fullness of your innate God self by dwelling on the past or living in anxiety about the future. God is only found and felt in the present, in this moment. Take a breath. Let go of the past. Let go of any considerations of the future. And what are you left with? Your God essence in this moment. Once we are present in this, we can fully present presence in every aspect of our lives. Being present allows us to present presence. So today, find the presence more profoundly by being present, by making it a practice. Then present yourself according to how you see yourself as the presence. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. The homework this week. And as I say every week to those who are new, I offer homework for the community to work on every single week, because that's how we put the spiritual practice into practice. The homework this week, I invite you to take an hour, yes, an hour, every single day. But I don't have time. Oh. You're welcome. Take an hour every single day to engage in some activity that feels good. I want this activity on some level to affirm your own God identity. This is an invitation for you to be present as the presence for an hour every single day. Now, you think you don't have time? I will remind you of this Zen proverb. You should sit in meditation for 20 minutes every day, unless you're too busy. Then you should sit for an hour. That's the homework. 1 hour every single day. Do something that feels good and affirms your God identity. What could be better homework than that? I invite you to take a breath. See if there's any kernel of truth that has resonated with you, and allow that to be present in your heart space. Just allow.
Now my hands do your work, and now my lips speak your truth, and now my life is the image of your love, Spirit as me. song. Now my heart is at peace. Now my soul is the laughter of a child. Spirit as me. So let's allow ourselves to settle into a prayerful contemplation. There is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one source of all creation. There is only one love. There is God and nothing else. The infinite presence which unfolds itself and allows itself and demands upon itself to express as all creation. And there is absolutely nothing separate from it. And so I trust and know that each and every one of us is the presence. And I welcome a deeper realization of our pure identity as the presence. I let go of any past considerations. I release any future ideas, and I allow and invite us, each and every one of us, to allow a greater recognition in this pure, perfect moment, and in this moment, and in this moment. And I know that as I am present as the presence, as we are present as the presence, then we, each and every one of us, present as the presence. And so it is with gratitude overflowing from within that I allow this presentation to take hold in every aspect of life and flow forth to create the most magnificent quality of experience. I release this word as the law, knowing that it is acted upon perfectly and shows up as the expression, the circumstance of all that is in my life and in the lives of each and every one of us. And so with a breath, I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Now my hands do your work, and now my lips speak your truth, and now my life is the image of your love, Spirit as me. Spirit as me. Spirit as me. Will you please welcome to the platform today to guide us in our offering. Brand new to this part of the service, but grateful to have her, Emila DeToro.
Thank you.
Hi, Emila. Hi.
It's great to be here.
Good to
Hello,
have
everyone.
you here.
I'm really touched by today's service, actually. When I was meditating this morning to hear what I was going to share about abundance and giving, it was so in alignment with, obviously, what you're talking. So when I was a child, I was raised Italian Catholic, and I went to church occasional Sundays, and my mom would give me $1 and tell me to toss it in the basket, right? I didn't know what I was doing. I was just happy to have the $1. But and then give it away. But as I aged and continued in the Catholic tradition, I learned that there was a quality of duty, right? The giving was about duty, and it was about charity, taking care of people that were less than me. There was a whole hierarchical structure to that giving process. And in 2006, when I was in my early 40s, I walked into a Unity church, and I was struck by how different it was, as I'm sure any of you have when you've come into Unity for the first time. And I realized that through courses that I did there in the 4T was the classic Unity abundance class at the time, and Keys to the Kingdom, that giving in Unity is about reciprocity, and it's about generosity. So these are two different ways of holding responsibility, right? One is a responsibility to other, a responsibility to something higher than us, duality, and the other is about a responsibility to a community that we're co-creating every day. And I want to share my abundance with this community. I want our people to be cared for that are producing the service, that are cleaning our buildings. And that's why I give. This is really what this is about, right? I give because I'm co-creating the community with my energetic resources, as well as my time and my talent, which is why I'm up here. So as you are considering what to put into the offering today, consider how you want to co-create this community. Do you want to create it in an abundant, thriving, reciprocal way, like I do? I hope you'll join me. And you can give using this QR code or a check or cash. And if you use this QR code, you will have the opportunity to put yourself on automatic giving, which is what I do. Every Sunday morning, I wake up to a message in my email that says, "Thank you for your gift to Unity of Tucson." And I'm like, yes, it's all done. I've given, and now I can show up and be myself and not worry about how much I'm going to give today, because I already know the gift has been given through me. So thank you.
Thank you, Emila. Deeply grateful for your contribution today. Thank you, thank you. And as the baskets go around, feel free to move your body as we sing our giving song.
I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Here we go. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. Yes, it does. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself.
Okay. They have brought the baskets forward so that we can bless them. And today I get to bless the offering. I'm so excited. But I invite you to join me in blessing the offering. So would you do me a favor? Would you turn around and face everyone with the baskets? And let's all rub our hands together. Get that energy going. Yes. And then let us direct that energy towards these baskets and say the words that are here. We bless these gifts, and we see these gifts going out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen. Indeed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So a couple of things to let you know about. I did mention last week that I came out of the closet last week to tell you all that I was going on a sabbatical beginning in the middle of April, and I'll be away for 10 weeks. And that during that time, we are looking for someone who can help in the office in a temporary position. And I did receive some response to that, and I want you to know, if you sent me something, I am aware that I have not responded to you yet, but you will be receiving a response this week. But if you have an interest in a temporary position helping us out in the office that would begin mid-March and continue through the end of June, please do send me an email, revjonathan@unitytucson.com, and I will let you know what that looks like and what we're looking for and how that can all play out. So there's that. The other thing is, guess what today is? It's Sunday Potluck Day. So today, following the celebration, we'd love to have you join us in Harmony Hall for our potluck. We have standardized our potlucks so that they are on the final Sunday of every single month. So we're celebrating with potluck today. The next one will be on February 26th. If you want to know more about potluck, you can always chat with Molly. Hi, Molly. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what's happening with Molly in just a moment. But we do also have our annual meeting coming up Sunday, February 19th, beginning immediately following the service. It's an opportunity to review 2022, to preview 2023. We elect board members, and all kinds of other things happen at that annual meeting. So if you are a member, if you are an active member of this community, please do join us for the annual meeting on February 19th. If you are not an official active member, you are welcome to join us for the meeting so you can know what's going on. The only thing that you would not be eligible to do is vote. So there's that. But everyone is welcome to join us for the meeting. Active members do have the option to vote as part of that experience. There is a Unitix outing that was planned at the very last minute. And here's the information. Next Saturday, February 4th, 9:30 a.m., go to the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show down at the Convention Center. If you would like details on that, please do speak with Molly. And here is the thing that I'm going to tell you about Molly. Molly has a beautiful, bright area that we have dedicated just for Unitix that is now where the counter used to be in our bookstore. So that whole area belongs to Molly now for Unitix and all of the things that she does for this community. Molly, I cannot say enough words about how Molly engages social activities for this community. And if you have not taken advantage of participating in one, I encourage you to do so. So you can see Molly in the Unitix area, which is right where the bookstore is, just off the bookstore, and find out all the things that we have going on, including how you are going to meet next week for the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. Now, that said, another thing about our bookstore is we are going to do a grand reopening celebration of our bookstore on February 12th after service. There are going to be discounts and giveaways, so we encourage you all to participate and be part of that, the grand reopening of the Desert Light Metaphysical Books and Gifts, our very own store here. So join us for that. Also, save the date, March 17th. Somebody thought it was February 17th. It's not. March 17th. We're going to be having an event here called Feeling Good. It is going to be an uplifting concert served with decadent desserts, and I finalized the roster of singers for that concert this week, so I'm super excited about that. So it's not just me, although I will be singing, but it's going to be a whole crew of people, and really looking forward to that. So save the date. The tickets, I believe, are planned to go on sale next week. If I'm not, I'm looking for Karen. Okay. Next week, tickets on sale? We hope. Hope is good. It's better than despair. But it is an unconscious compromise, and so I will commit to ensuring that tickets will be on sale for the concert next week. One thing I want to let you know about, we are looking for 4 sponsors to help us underwrite the costs. This is a fundraising, a revenue-generating opportunity for us. We're looking for 4 sponsors to give donations of $400 each to help underwrite the costs. I see one has already stepped forth. I see another one has stepped forth. We are looking for 2 sponsors. I see a third. We are looking for, I saw Susan's hand first. Sorry, Sandy and John, I saw Susan's hand first. So we are now not looking for any sponsors. Here's what's... I will let you know. Here's what sponsorship is. You will get a $350 tax credit as a full donation to Unity of Tucson. The other $50 will ensure your place in the VIP seating. Anyone else want to sponsor? I mean, I'm happy to take as many sponsorships as you will give us. So Sandy, John, if you want to sponsor, I will make sure. All right, so we've got 5 sponsors. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Rainbow Lunch Bunch is going to be meeting the second Sunday of each month at Whole Foods. That is, of course, the 12th. So the Rainbow Lunch Bunch, please go to the Desert Light opening, and then you can go have lunch at Whole Foods. The Rainbow Lunch Bunch is Unity of Tucson's new group for LGBTQ+ members and allies to socialize and discuss spiritual principle. All right, those are all the announcements. Yay! Except for one. I want to let you know that today's prayer chaplains in service are Laura Cass and Ruth Starwell. They are available. And Ruth, it was a beautiful meditation this morning. Thank you. They are available after service for a moment of prayer. They will remain here in the sanctuary on either side, about halfway down in the sanctuary. So if you need a moment of prayer, seek out one of our 2 prayer chaplains on duty today. You can also write your prayer intentions and put them into our prayer intention box. Those are prayed over by our entire prayer team here, and also sent to Unity's prayer ministry called Silent Unity, where they remain under constant prayer for 30 days. So there's lots of prayer available to you. I want to say thank you. I am so grateful for everyone who makes these experiences happen. Let me first acknowledge my gratitude to our entire tech team. There's Jake, Don, Jim, and Rowan in the back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to Emila for guiding us in our offering today. Thank you so much for inspiring us. Thank you to Kathy Brandon, our keeper of the flames. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our prayer chaplains with our reading, affirmation, and prayer, Laura Cass, and with our meditation, Ruth Starwell. Thank you so much. Let's, of course, give it up for this magnificent band, Linda and Paul and Raphael. And thank you, each and every one of you, for making your presence known. Yes?
We need to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making your presence known here in this thing called life. You are a blessing. You are magnificent. And I see only the face of God when I experience every single one of you. Let us close today with this prayer of divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. This is the last time for this song, because we've got new songs next month, but I love this song. So big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched
stretch my hands out to the sky and dance with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright, the sun was out till midnight. I say we lose control. Whoa. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Everybody's alright, everybody up now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.